Hello, my name is Jodi Low, and this is the Leadership Lowdown, powered by the BBB and You and Improved. The Leadership Lowdown cuts through the clutter and gets to the heart of what makes businesses tick. We want to share the stories that matter to you, all of the successes and triumphs and all of the pitfalls, and everything that happens in between. So with that, let's get on to today's show.
Well, welcome. I am so happy to have you here. JW Rayhons, and you are the president and CEO of Rayhons, let me get this right, Financial and Joshua Development.
That's
so two
correct.
things.
That is two
because
things.
one is not enough. You
Apparently
have to have two.
not.
You have to have two.
Yeah.
So tell us and our listeners and viewers a little bit about you and what it is that you do.
Yeah, thanks, Jodi.
Yeah.
By the way, I've really been looking forward to this. You have such a great energy about you. You've got
Thank
a
you.
flyer and a flair about you. And even just in learning a little bit about you, you have such a drive that is
thank you.
infectious.
Oh, you are
It's
very kind, my friend.
It is noticeable. So,
Thank you. I
I've been
appreciate
excited
it.
about this as well.
Good.
And
Glad
really
you're
looking
here.
forward to us
So
having the
happy.
opportunity to visit.
Awesome.
But yeah, so there are two companies, Rayhons Financial and Joshua Development.
Yep.
Both are very mission-driven, purpose-driven. And I've had the opportunity to start a lot of things earlier in life than many people do, and that's the case with both of these as well. So I actually started Rayhons Financial when I was 20 and still in college.
Okay.
And Joshua Development kind of happened just on a request, an accident, if you will, and that was about 18 years ago.
Wow, I love that. Happy little accident. I don't know
know.
if I'm totally dating myself. What was the guy that painted the happy little
Bob
tree?
Ross.
Bob Ross. He'd
Yes.
always say happy little accident.
Oh, he
So
did
Joshua
all the
Development was
time.
like a happy little
Yeah.
accident.
Everybody
I
was
so
jealous
just
of
dated
his fro.
myself with that reference.
Hey, you know what? All of us need to know about Bob Ross.
Bob Ross is
Such
a
a
legend.
great
He is a
personality
legend.
and,
He's a
and a
legend.
fro better than anybody.
I mean, he rocked that fro like nobody's business.
He sure
Absolutely. So 20 years old in college. Where did you go to college?
Right out here at Mesa Community College.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And so you started a financial company at 20?
I did.
So
Yeah.
how did that happen?
Well, you know, I often say or often joke that ignorance was my greatest asset.
Okay. Hey,
Because
you know what?
I had no idea what I was getting into. I had no idea how hard it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And really all I had was the ability to work hard, the ability to follow up and try to help people as much as possible.
Yeah.
And be resourceful. And that was about all I had. As you can imagine, at 20,
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that was a big deal for people to trust everything they've built with some kid. I didn't even realize that at
You
the
just
time,
didn't even
'cause
think of it as an
no.
obstacle, so it wasn't an obstacle
Right.
because you just didn't know it was an obstacle.
Yeah.
It should be, or
I mean,
potentially could be.
Started it really just to help people create and live the lifestyle they wanted. So it was coming from that premise, and just figured, well, if we can help them with the financial area of their life, then it just frees them up to enjoy all the other things that are more important to them anyway.
Love it.
And that was the start.
That is fantastic. So you started this at 20 and done with school, and then just continued to evolve it and grow the business?
Yeah, literally a step at a time. I mean, figure it out as you go. Almost like what's the newer Rocky movie? It's not a Rocky movie. It's like Creed.
Oh,
you know, and there he's like one step at a time, one punch at a time, one round at a time. I'm
Yeah.
sure there's plenty of entrepreneurs, business leaders that kind of feel that from time to time of like, one step at a
100%.
time. I'm gonna take some punches. It's okay. But also, you know, those rounds that you win lead to something outstanding, especially when you're focused on making an impact.
Absolutely. And I love that. How beautifully put. And I mean, a great reference, but it's so true. And I think entrepreneurship in general, you just summed it up, because there are those times where you're like, oh my gosh, it's just blow after blow after blow,
yeah.
you know, and whether it's, you know, economy, or whether it's, you know, the economy or employees or staffing issues, or who knows, you know, a million different things that can happen. And yeah, that resilience that comes from being an entrepreneur is unlike,
Oh yeah, well,
unlike anything else.
As you can imagine, about 26 years in, there's been plenty of blows along the way, and there's been huge amounts of success, and just seeing the impact in people's lives is incredible. I mean, that is a business, and Joshua Development as well, that's provided many things that I could have never imagined in my life and the life of others.
Yeah.
And that's been where the real joy comes from either company.
Yeah. And so what is it? Tell us a little bit about each company's, like, briefly, what is it that you each do?
Yeah. So the easiest way to describe Rayhons Financial is, I mean, if you look at the website, it's going to say we're a disciplined financial planning and investment firm. The reality is all we're doing is paying attention to what's most important to people, some of those big financial decisions, but they're really life events or life decisions. We're just trying to help them achieve the things that they want to achieve.
Yeah.
And, you know, we do that through all the main ways that most financial planning investment firms do, and we do them in some unique ways too.
Yeah.
And then Joshua Development is really focused on what we would consider like developing the championship chemistry of executive and senior leadership teams within organizations or within companies. So the reality is both companies serve a very similar mission in essentially trying to help people, maximize and enjoy the work and the life that they live. They just go about it in two different ways.
Yeah. Fantastic. And how many folks are part of your team or teams?
This is the cool thing is we don't have a huge team with either company. Rayhons Financial has, 13, 14 people in 2 locations here in the Phoenix area and Gilbert, as well as in the Kansas City area and Lee Summit, Missouri. And then we serve clients across the country.
Nice.
And then Joshua Development, we've got 4 team members there. But even like with Rayhons Financial, the beauty of the way we're set up independently is we actually have an affiliation, if you will, or a team that extends beyond that with one of the largest broker-dealers in the country. So that gives us some fascinating resources of outstanding people, outstanding teams, and outstanding specialists and experts. So
Fantastic.
It's like this big extended family that starts with a core of a few of us.
Love that. Love that. And you mentioned Missouri. Is that where you're from?
It's not actually.
No,
so I grew up in North Iowa. Jodi, if you want to know the truth, I'm just a farm and construction kid that moved around a lot. My dad raised my brothers and I for the most part. I mean, you talk about, learning how to work hard and be disciplined and keep your word and all those things that a lot of times we think of them as like the Midwest values.
Yep.
Really they're just good human values to have.
100%.
Right?
100%.
But so I grew up a farm and construction kid in North Iowa. And
where's the little accent from? Is that in Iowa? Does Iowa have an accent?
I
don't know. I don't know these things.
This is the thing is I really think is just from interacting with so many people all these years, I have people ask me about an accent all the time, and I have no idea what they're talking about.
You're I don't have an accent. It's just the way I speak. That's so funny.
I've been asked if I'm from the East Coast. I've been asked if I'm from the South. I've been asked, so I have no idea.
It almost sounds like it's a conglomeration. I'm like, is that North Carolina?
Blended accent from who knows where.
Doesn't matter. You're you, and you're uniquely you.
That's all I got.
Great. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's all I got.
So you mentioned your dad and growing up, farm construction. Was he a key mentor in your life?
Oh, absolutely.
I was thinking, with that reference.
Yeah. In fact, thank you for asking that. He absolutely has been.
Yeah.
My brothers and I all agree. I mean, there's no way we'd be where we are without him. Also, there's no way we'd be where we are without our mom either. They both had a role. The roles were very different.
Yeah.
But my dad was an incredible mentor, coach, advisor, dad, father, almost like a brother at times, because as you can imagine, we all kind of raised each other, if you will.
Yeah. How many siblings?
So I have 2 brothers. Okay. We also have a brother that passed away as an infant, and then we have a younger sister as well.
Okay.
I mean, technically she's a half sister. She's our sister.
Same.
Yeah.
Yep. No difference. And so when you look back and things you learned from your dad and your mom, what were some of the key things that have kind of shaped you into being who you are and that you maybe spilled into your companies now?
Thank you for that question too. That's a great question. So can I share a quick story with you?
Of course.
This
is all
story,
about you, my friend.
Oh my goodness. So this story though kind of sums it up a bit in terms of my dad and the type of father and mentor that he was. Is so my brothers and I, we all loved playing sports. As you can imagine, 3 boys. We probably didn't follow all the rules all the time. A little bit wild, a little bit crazy from time to time.
Sure.
Maybe fought with each other occasionally.
Yeah.
Obviously very close, but the reason I'm giving you that backstory is so that occasionally we'd get in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, once in a blue moon.
Once in a while. So there's one day we come home from school, and we were living in a small apartment. Most of the places we lived in were probably rougher areas, apartments. We lived in a motel room for a period of time. Yep. So we come home, and as you can imagine, in any apartment, all the walls are white, right?
Yeah.
So my brothers and I come home from school, and Dad had obviously been there at some point throughout the school day because when we left in the morning, the walls were white. When we came back, in big black like construction Sharpie on the wall above what we called our dining room table, which is like a little card table, it just said discipline in all caps. And so we had one of these moments where we were like, okay, so did we just leave now?
Right.
Or is that safer, or do we stick around to see? And we're looking at each other like, who did what? Like, who's the cause of this? And we're like pointing fingers and all that kind of stuff.
Sharpie
right?
on the wall. I love it.
And just says discipline, nothing else. And so we decided probably better if we just stick around, wait for Dad to come home.
Maybe safety in numbers.
Have whatever's coming, figure out what we did. And it was probably one of the coolest lessons because when he came home, we're on edge. We're
right.
like waiting for it, you know. And he comes in and he's got, you boys ready to eat? Kind of like, okay, yeah. So we sit down and he goes, "Any you wondering what's on the wall right there?" We're like, yeah,
sure.
He goes, "I want you all to know something. Discipline equals freedom." That pretty much sums up my dad and what he taught us. Discipline equals freedom.
Wow.
Discipline isn't there to restrict you. It's not there, to limit your life. Discipline is actually what allows us to live life to the fullest. And then it's up to us to decide, what does that discipline look like in my life? What are my values? What's my mission? What am I going after? What am I passionate about? What do I love? And then use that to fuel as many people around you as you can. And so that's why discipline was on the wall. We weren't actually in trouble at all. Not that day.
Like that wasn't the day.
Yeah.
I love that. What a powerful way to teach a lesson to your children.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
My dad was pretty notorious for powerful ways to teach lessons.
Yeah. And what an out-of-the-box way to do that with Sharpie on the wall.
Yeah.
Wow.
We could get in all kinds of stories. One day we showed up, there was a punching bag in the backyard that he had hung up, and there's a whole nother
lesson to learn from that one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Three rules that he had put up there on a board, but they weren't clean enough. Again, we grew up farming and construction.
Yep.
Jodi, probably not clean enough to share on our podcast.
Maybe that's another podcast. Maybe that's episode 2. I love it.
Three great rules, but probably shouldn't share them here.
We'll edit them out. Right. And how about your mom? Very similar or very different in terms of how they taught or what you learned?
So there was a period of time where we didn't have a lot of interaction with our mom. And so that's why I say my dad raised us for the most part. And then all three of us later on in life regained and rebuilt a relationship with our mom. So for those really young years, my mom is very nurturing. She wants to do as much as she can for other people. So those nurturing years where you really need kind of that hug, physical, emotion, she was there for that. And then there was a period of time where she wasn't. And then we all rebuild a relationship with her as adults. And so that allows our kids to have a good relationship with her as well. Love that.
And how beautiful that you could reconcile or get to a place where you have that again with each other. That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
So when you look at your business or businesses today, obviously a lot from your dad and things from your mom that you've learned along the way. Were there other mentors or folks that kind of helped guide you and shape you? Obviously 20 years old, so you're young and starting this business. As a young entrepreneur, were there folks that took you under their wing, or
there were so
did you
many?
Learn from? Okay,
Jodi, I mean there were too many to even mention. I mean, we'd have to probably have a 3 or 4 day podcast.
Yeah.
And that's been probably one of the gifts throughout my life over and over of people seeing things in me and then being willing to kind of pour into that, whether it was, coaches on various sports teams, teachers. I mean, there were even, I can mention a couple of my dad's girlfriends that they were moms to us in those moments where we really needed it. And so, I've had multiple mentors throughout my life, been able to be a mentor to others as well. There's another gentleman that I mention often when I talk about mentors. In fact, just yesterday I was able to kind of share some thoughts and ideas with a mentorship program at one of the towns here in Arizona. And this gentleman that I mentioned, his name is Ron, and I got to meet him what ended up being later in his life. And the things that he even taught me about life and its real meaning were reflective for him. This was a guy who was very successful, impacted millions of people across the world. And because of the time period at which we built a friendship and he really was a mentor for me, he was at that point in his life where he was reflecting on the things that he wished he had done differently, what the successes actually meant, the achievements, the ones that really mattered, the ones that didn't. And that ended up being probably one of the great mentorships I also had, just because it gives you that picture. When somebody's lived a life. I mean, he lived a life. And he was able to share some of that with me. And I got to gain from that experience through him.
So fantastic.
But
do you think
there's been many.
With him or others, I know, in some discussion, core values are a big piece of who you are. what was there a driver, and what are those driving forces or core values for you? And did it come from those mentors, or was it just what you extrapolated along the way?
Yeah, you ask such great questions. You know that, Jodi?
Well, thanks. Thank you.
You
I
really do.
That.
Well, so so I'm going to share a personal belief. I believe that each of us need to determine what those values are going to be. I do believe there's values that are instilled within us, but at some point we have to develop or design our own values. And so I actually remember an exercise, and I don't remember where the idea came from or if it just was, gut feeling or whatever it was, instinct. But I went through this exercise where I had, values from people I had met, values from organizations I respected, values from the Bible, values from family, values from my dad. And I wrote all those on a piece of paper. And I basically filtered all those out to say, yeah, but what are mine? What are mine? So it was almost like using the resource of these values that I saw that meant a lot, or at least it meant a lot to me in who they were or where they came from, but then developed them on my own. And so ever since that day that I went through that exercise on my own, there's actually something that I say to myself. I do talk to myself.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the things that I'll say often is you need to talk to yourself more than you listen to yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's
so
a good
I do
rule
talk
of
to
thumb.
myself. Usually I try to do it when no one's around or under my breath. Anymore with headphones in the car. We can talk to ourselves all we want. Nobody's going to think you're crazy anymore.
No one thinks you're crazy anymore. Absolutely.
But if you want, I'll share what I say because it includes those values.
Yeah.
And I just started sharing this not that long ago. So it's fairly fresh as far as publicly sharing it. But essentially I say, continuously pursue the virtues of fortitude, forgiveness, and humility. Focus on relationships, contribution, and gratitude. Enjoy wholeheartedly the moments provided to me, and share stories.
I love that. Do you love that? Because I love that. Okay, I had to talk to the camera on that one because that was amazing. Love that. And so you say that out loud to yourself, and it's sort of like a mantra,
nearly every day. Most of the time early in the morning, first thing in the morning, but sometimes it'll be even throughout the day if I need a reminder.
Fantastic. And was that something that just evolved for you, or that you?
Yeah. So from the exercise that I did when I listed those out, then it was more of how can I put that into something that I can recite, really to try to instill
becomes kind of like an anchor or mantra for you to kind of ground you into who you are and your beliefs and your core values. I love that.
And it's partly because I do believe that our values drive our decisions.
100%.
And a lot of times we don't realize it. And so if you're not clear about what your values are, you're probably not clear about what your decisions are either.
Yeah.
And so, I try to keep them front of mind awareness on a regular basis so that the hope is they're driving the majority of the decisions.
Driving the decisions.
By the way, I tell you, it doesn't mean I'm perfect. It doesn't mean I get it right all the time.
None of us are.
It doesn't even mean that all my decisions align with those values.
Right.
But I try to learn along the way and try to figure it out and try to, do them as best I can.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you bring that up because I think a lot of people throw core values. I mean, in the work I do, I work with companies and they'll throw core values on a wall. But if you ask, even sometimes the key executives or leaders, like, what are the company's core values? They can't tell you, and it's wallpaper. It's not, really defining their culture. And so I love, when folks will take the time to say, what are defining core values for me? And if I'm the owner of that company or building that company, how does that align with the core values of the company? And seeing that intermingling of the two.
You just reminded me of, if you want, because also for any of you listening, I want to make sure we give them like some practical things. If you want, I'll share. So there's a way we try to bring our vision, mission, values, and behaviors to life on a regular basis with our team with both companies. And I'll be happy to share how we do that, or a couple of examples of how we do that. Sure. So we do a weekly team meeting. Everybody from both companies, same team meeting. It's one of the ways that I want to make sure that our team has as strong a bond as possible, as strong a trust as possible, and that we have at least one regular interaction a week where we're all together, whether it's in person, virtual, because we have people in different locations. But we send out a preparation packet ahead of that meeting every week. So it's every Tuesday afternoon. As much as possible, we try to get out on Friday. The first 2 pages in that packet every single time, and it's on purpose so that you actually have to scroll through it to get to the outline, to get to the agenda. You don't see the agenda until you go through page 1 and page 2. Page 1 and page 2 is a visual representation of our vision, mission, values, and behaviors. And so that's just one of the ways that we make sure we're trying to live those out. Even in terms of our values and behaviors, it says right on there, this is who we agree to be. Mm-hmm. And it gives all of us a way to like hold each other positively accountable to that and try to have, that enough of a relationship with one another that if we need to be held accountable to those values, we're doing it. And we get to do it together.
Yeah, that's great. And I love that you bring both teams together as one. Yeah. Because one being obviously a little bit bigger than the other and, but not making anything feel isolated.
That's right.
It's fantastic. I love this. So with the company and companies that you have today, what is it that, as you're bringing on new leaders and looking at the future, what does that future look like? Is it expansion and growth? Is it continuing to do what you do and serving those you serve? Or what does that look like?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So we'll have continued growth. Yeah. I probably have maybe a bit of a unique view when it comes to, when people ask, what's it going to look like in 5 years or what's going to look like in 10 years. And certainly what I'm about to say is not to say that we don't do strategic planning or set goals or have targets or we have what we call our pillars of performance and a strength score. And so we do all of that. So what I'm about to say is not to say that we ignore those things. But what I will share with you is when it comes to our future, and this comes from my belief that if we're focused on those values, if we're focused on the vision and the mission of what we're doing, the results will take care of themselves. And at least up to this point, 26 years in for Rayhons Financial and like 17 or 18 years in for Joshua Development, so far that's worked out really well.
Love that.
And so from a growth standpoint, I do anticipate us growing. I mean, there's absolute reasons why I think both of our companies are in outstanding positions for our future. There's opportunities that are being created within both of our areas of expertise that it's just up to us to capture those. Yeah. And I really do see an outstanding impact continuing from both organizations. And I think it's going to be bigger, if you will, than anyone on our team right now anticipates.
Yeah, they can even have a vision for. Yeah.
I mean, even, our growth just in the last 3, 4, 5 years has been exponential compared to averages in our industries.
Fantastic.
And it's been consistent, especially for businesses that have been in business as long as us.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking, we've had consistent years of 50% plus growth in Rayhons Financial in these last few years. And that's, 23, 24, 25 years in, and we're still having growth like that.
Fantastic. Doing a lot of things right, and obviously doing it for the right reasons with morals and ethics and all the things that the BBB is, all the things that your company is. So that alignment is fantastic. Good for you. Good for you. Congratulations on all that success.
We have an outstanding team. I will share, the people that we have working with us, they have that drive. They carry the same meaning. They see the vision, they see the mission. That's what they want to be a part of. Yep. It's not necessarily, me or anyone. Like, we want to be a part of this together. Yeah. And we see the impact that it has in people's lives and in the lives of corporations. Yeah. And so we make, we see it happen on a regular basis, and that's what our team wants to be a part of. That's what drives them. That's why they're as high performing as they are.
Yeah. They're making an impact. They see it, they feel it, and they can tangibly know that the work they do matters. Yeah. Fantastic.
Plus, it probably helps that we each want to help each other be as successful as possible in our personal lives. So that helps when you want to help fuel someone else's success, even internally on your own team.
Yeah, when it's internally driving one another, there's a magic that happens.
Oh, there is. For sure. There is. For sure. It's incredible.
I love it. Well, before we jumped on camera today, I told you I've got a series of fun questions that I want to ask to be able to allow people to get to know JW a little bit more. So with that, what is your favorite word?
Oh, my favorite word. I only get to pick one?
Only one.
Okay.
Only one.
I will go with fortitude for this one.
Okay.
Fortitude for me is a word that's carried a lot of meaning. To me, the way I define it is it's courage with persistence.
Okay. So I like that definition.
I'll pick fortitude.
Fortitude. Okay. Do you have a least favorite word?
Ooh, a least favorite word. This is where you're going to get me because I have a natural inclination towards positivity. So
you and me both, my friend.
You know what? I don't like the word hate.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Tough one. It's a tough one. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a strong word.
It's a really big word.
In fact, if you want another dad lesson, he would tell my brothers and I all the time, like, if we ever said that we didn't like somebody or we hated somebody or whatever it was, he'd say, no, you don't dislike the person. You don't dislike them. He goes, you dislike what they did. You might have disliked the way they treated you, but don't dislike the person. And so maybe that's why
throwing the baby out with the bathwater kind of a thing.
That's why the word hate is one that I'm like,
one.
I just can't hear it.
No, I understand. That makes complete sense. Yeah. For you, what would you say turns you on creatively, spiritually, emotionally? Like what kind of just drives you and brings you to life?
Recognizing the greatness in someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like another core belief that I have is that when you look for the good in someone, you'll find it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that ignites me in amazing ways.
Yeah.
Is just to see someone recognize something in themselves.
Yeah.
And then it just like fires them up.
Yep. We are so in alignment with that. It's literally my reason for being too, because it's like and it's almost like you see something in them that they don't see in themselves. So when they do find it, they come to life, and you can it's like a invigorating feeling. So I love that. I love that. Is there something that turns you off completely that you're like, whoa?
I would say, I'd probably say if I hear someone say they can't do something, then it's almost like a curiosity to go, but wait, why?
Yeah.
Why do you feel like you can't do that?
Yeah, it's like a quitting before even attempting or starting or thinking of possibility.
It's almost then it's almost like, well, wait a second, how can we find something?
Yeah.
Like how can we find and shift that
to allow you to shift it?
It's worth a shot.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. No, makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Complete
unless
sense.
Unless you're just not passionate about it, or don't love it, or then it's okay.
Yeah.
Then let's shift
move
to
on, something
else.
different. Yeah, something that does.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I really do believe that people just light up, have greater ability for success and achievement when they really do pursue something that they enjoy and that they love. Yeah, you have to find that in order to be successful. And I realize that's a bold statement to say that. But the reality is, like, let's take somebody who's listening to this and they're like, yeah, but I'm in a job I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like, but I've been successful. Let's say I've made a lot of money, or I've gone up the ranks, but they don't like what they do.
Mm-hmm.
If we dug a little bit, I'd be willing to bet there's something about that job that actually does fire them up.
Yeah.
It may not be the job itself.
Right.
But something inside them is what they actually enjoy about it. And it might be just the success that's come with it.
Yeah.
Maybe that is what it is.
Yeah.
But
there's something there.
There's something there.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Is there a sound or noise that you love?
There's a lot of them. I mean, I love the sound of a basketball going right through the net.
Just
like
swoosh.
on a 3. Yeah.
Are you a basketball player, or you love watching basketball, or both?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've played basketball since the day I could walk.
Oh, wow.
And I've coached a lot of basketball.
Okay.
So that's one sound. I mean, the sound, we get the benefit of hearing some fighter jets when they're going over Luke Air Force Base.
Nice.
If you're out in the West Valley, you know. And so, my goodness, the sound of a fighter jet flying over.
Yep.
That's another one.
And
then, like hearing my kids laugh.
Yeah.
Like just hearing the people that I love.
Yeah.
Hearing them laugh.
Yeah.
Man, there's something about that.
There is a
genuine,
genuine belly laugh too. Yeah.
Like one of my favorite things is when I'm in a completely different room and I just hear them laughing or giggling, and I'm like, that sounds so good.
Yeah, it's just so good, and you can't help but smile. Yeah.
But it's like that with anybody that I love or care about. If I just hear them laughing, that's a great sound.
We're good. Yeah. Is there a sound or noise that you don't like?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
nothing's coming to mind.
Nothing
anyway.
that comes to mind. No nails down a chalkboard for you.
No.
Okay. We'll come back to it if you want.
All right.
And if not, that's okay too.
If something pops
into your
you.
mind.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all good. If you were to choose and take like any aptitude or skill out of this, but if there was a profession other than your own that you would have loved to explore or gone into, what would that have been?
Well, I had 2 childhood dreams, and in fact, both of them have a story behind it to say, in all seriousness, like, just don't ever give up on your dreams, because you may not know how they might actually come to be, because in both these cases, there's elements of these 2 dreams that actually did end up happening in my life. And one of them was extremely improbable, and it still happened anyway. But so I had 2 dreams, and then I'm going to answer your question.
Okay.
So the first one was I did want to play in the NBA.
Okay.
I did only make it to 5'8". That had some challenges that went along with it. But that was one of them. The other was I did, when I was young, there was a popular movie called Top Gun
that
came out.
Oh, yeah.
So, of course, I wanted to be a fighter pilot. But then I realized they don't let blind guys fly planes for obvious reasons. So I thought that one was out the window.
Yeah.
That's the one that actually did come true at some point in my life, though.
Oh.
Because I did get to fly in an F-16.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
But to answer your question about if there was a different profession that I would go into, the only other one that I've ever thought of outside of what I get to do already is actually building and coaching a basketball program at either, say, the high school or collegiate level.
Okay.
So if it was going to be anything, I guess that would maybe be it.
Love it. Hey, the years are still short. You got lots of bandwidth. Right? You never know. That one might be coming up. You never know. And is there a profession that you think would just be absolutely not for you? Couldn't do it?
Well, worded that way, I think there's a lot that are not for me.
Yeah.
I mean, this goes back to pursue what you care about, pursue what you love, pursue what you're passionate about. And there are professions that I'm not passionate about.
Like what would one be that you're like, oh God, I couldn't wake up to do that?
I enjoy, one of the things I enjoy about Joshua Development, what we get to do there is we do get to be involved in so many different industries and organizations that you gain so much respect for anything that anyone chooses to do. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that there's a profession, a job out there that I would look at and go, don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Everybody, I'll tell you what, every job has a value. And every person that's doing that job has a value.
That's for sure.
And yes, do jobs change? Do certain professions or careers go away? Of course. We evolve, things change. We're going through a lot of that right now.
Yeah.
People are nervous about whether they're going to have a job in the future. The reality is any organization's always going to need people.
Yep.
We're always going to need people.
That's not going to change.
Yeah.
Love it.
I dodged your question.
You did, but that's okay. I'm going to give you a pass on that one. That's okay. And I don't think we have a noise we don't like, but that's okay. I won't hold you to it.
Oh, man. I'm totally blowing your conversation right now, aren't
I? It's all good. This is all about you, not me. And so to wrap us up, if heaven exists, what would you love to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates many, many, many years from now?
So I love that you asked this question.
Okay.
I do believe that heaven exists. And I think that there's some people that are already there that I'm really excited to get to hang with whenever I get there. And I hope that's not real soon, but in some ways that's not my decision.
Not always ours, yep.
So one is, I hope they're there. But also, I guess I would just want, God, Jesus, Holy Spirit to really look and just go, you know what? You used what we gave you. You captured the opportunities. We knew you wouldn't be perfect at it, but you pursued it. Yeah. You gave it a shot.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. Great feedback. Great answer. And good words. Really good words.
Thank you.
Like this is part of you or something. I don't know.
Like I said earlier, this is all I got.
I know. So, I'm with you. With you.
Sometimes whatever's going to come out is just what's inside here. So that's all you get.
It's the authenticity I love. That's fantastic. Well, to wrap us up, this is the Leadership Lowdown. So I'd love to ask just any final thoughts, word of wisdom, anything you'd love to share with our listeners or viewers that you think was impactful for you, or perhaps that you share with your team, or something that's meant something along the way in your journey that you could share with others.
Okay. Well, first, one thing that comes to mind is any of us have the opportunity to be leaders. So if you're listening to this and you're like, I'm not really a leader, the reality is you probably are. There are people around you that they look to you, they rely on you. They might even be watching, you, and you don't even realize it. And so I think anybody has a leadership role in some areas of their life. Now, that said, the next thing that comes to mind is there actually is like a phrase that we say at the end of every one of our meetings, and even a lot of like trainings, client interactions, things like that we do. And I think it kind of wraps up what you're asking. And it's this, and it's because anyone can carry this out to mean what they need it to mean, or what they want it to mean. And that is, be bold, stay strong, enjoy.
Love it. What a wonderful way to wrap up. Thank you so much for being here.
I appreciate
it.
This has been so much fun.
It has been a blast.
You're an outstanding host.
Thank you. Well, it's been an outstanding guest. So thank you for being here, and thank you for being here. With that, this has been the Leadership Lowdown. My name is Jodi Low. And remember, leaders are learners, so stay curious and keep leading with love.